Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Ask Julie Ryan Show. I'm Julie, your host, and I'm so delighted you could join us this week. My intention in doing this show is to provide information, insight, and comfort to people all over the world by helping to answer life's unanswerable questions. And we have a whole bunch of callers on hold, so we're going to get to them in a minute. Hope you're all doing well. We had company in from Florida earlier this week, so that was fun. My girlfriend and her fiance, she lost her husband, it was a year ago yesterday, I think. And so she's got a fiance already. And this is my friend. I think I've told you that when her husband was dying, he said, I'm going to send you a man from heaven. And she said, she kind of blew him off. And she said, well, how will I know he's from you? And she said, he said, look for the mermaid. And she said, what? And he said, yeah, look for the mermaid. And she said, what's that mean? And he just kept saying, look for the mermaid. So anyways, fast forward, he passes. End of last year, she went on a blind date. And this guy's a retired pilot, commercial pilot. Second date took her to his hangar, and he had a mermaid painted on the tail of his plane. And he lives on Mermaid Cove Drive. So you just never know. And they were here, so it was really fun. And then His Majesty, my son Jonathan, flies in on Sunday, and I haven't gotten to see him since Christmas. So I will be a very happy mommy when that happens. You know, he's 30, but still, they're still your baby. So I'm looking forward to that. So hope you're having a good week, too. All righty, let's go to the phones. And our first caller is Vicki. Hi, Vicki.
Hi, Julie. It's so good to talk with you. I'm calling in regards to my kitty. She has an ear infection, but she also seems to have, I believe, possibly an upper respiratory infection. She's been sneezing like crazy. I took her to the vet last week to get ear meds, and then she's just started sneezing earlier this week, and I can't get her in with anybody until a week and a half out, so I was hoping you could help.
Yeah, sure. Vicki, where are you located?
I'm in the Bay Area. I'm in San Carlos, California.
Okay, yeah. All right. And what's your cat's name?
Her name is Luna.
Luna, Luna?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right.
She's
well,
such a love bug.
Oh, what's she look like? What color is she?
She's orange and white.
Oh, she's a
5
tabby cat.
years old, and she's a rescue, and I just love her so much.
Okay. All right. What I'm going to do is I'm going to connect to you. For those of you that are first-time listeners, I raised my vibrational level to the level of spirit because we're all spirits attached to a body having a human experience. And when we're attached to a body, I vibrate more slowly. We vibrate more slowly. So I raise my vibrational level. I'm going to watch a laser beam come from my body here in Birmingham. It's going to hook into you, Vicki, up in the San Francisco Bay Area. And then I'm going to hook from you to Luna. So we'll see what's going on with Miss Luna, and then we'll take it from there. So here we go. Here comes my laser beam from Sweet Home, Alabama, heading across the U.S. to you on the left coast, right? So got you.
Yes.
Okay, going to Luna. Oh, yeah, she's got a sinus infection is what it looks like. Her eustachian tubes are all stopped up and globby and okay. All right. So what I'm doing is I'm just sucking out her sinuses, which are tiny, as you can imagine, and getting all the snot and goop out of there. Her left ear looks worse than her right. Does she seem to be scratching at her left ear or pawing it because it's been hurting her, do you think? Yeah. So that's what I'm doing. Okay. I'm putting antibiotic energy in there, but this looks like a fungal infection to me, Vicki. And so what I'm doing is I'm adding antifungal energy too. Antibiotic energy is a hot pink color. It looks like a fuchsia, but more pink than purple. And antifungal is kind of a brownish color, kind of a, what can I use? Like maple syrup, but not that thick, is what antifungal energy looks like to me. So the reason why I'm so descriptive is because if you can envision what I'm seeing, it helps integrate the healing into your body if I'm working on you, or in the case here with Luna, you're my assistant. You're my healing assistant here with your baby. So picture that. Picture that there's kind of like a watery maple syrupy color, kind of an amber color, but darker than a medium amber color. And imagine that that's in her eustachian tubes and going all throughout her sinuses. Do you have a mold issue in your home by any chance, Vicki?
Not that I'm aware of.
Okay. Is she an indoor cat?
Yes.
Okay. All right. That's the only thing that I can think of. Certainly San Carlos is going to be moist because you're not that far from the beach, I know, right?
I'm pretty close to yeah.
Yeah. So that's what I'm seeing. You may want to try running a dehumidifier and see if that helps.
Okay.
A dehumidifier to make it
that a try.
Less humid. Yeah. So I hope that helps.
Thank you so much, Julie. Will I still need to take her to the vet if I can get an appointment in the next couple of weeks?
I would, yes, just to get her double checked. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and there are walk-in clinics, a lot of places too. So there may be a walk-in clinic that you can go to and just wait. You may have to wait an hour or longer, but heck, we have to do that at the doctor's office sometimes when we have an appointment. So you may want to check into that too. And then keep the appointment 2 weeks out, but you might be able to find one sooner at a walk-in clinic.
All right. Thank you so much,
You're
Julie.
so
I really
welcome.
appreciate you.
You're welcome. Thanks for calling. Hope she feels better. All righty. Let's go to Tina next. Hi, Tina.
Oh, my gosh. Hi, Julie.
How are you?
Thank you so much for taking my call.
You're welcome.
I'm good, thank
Please
you.
tell everybody where you're located.
I am located in the top eastern corner of Bucks County, Pennsylvania, on the Delaware River.
All right. Terrific. How are things up there?
Beautiful. Beautiful up here in bucolic Bucks County, rolling hills and the river. We can swim and play in the river and just walk over to New Jersey. It's like a country area.
Oh, wonderful.
So it's not like industry, like down south of, it's more north towards the Poconos.
Right. Well, terrific.
Yeah,
well, you got a question for me?
We ride bikes. And yes, I do, ma'am. So my 4 kids, my youngest one, River, he just turned 14, and ever since we had trauma with him losing his dad and our farm and everything, and he has been bedwetting, and we have done everything. So since he was about 7, that started, and we've done everything, all the conditioning stuff and the alarms and all the things, and waking him up, and he's just such a strong sleeper. It's causing emotional trouble for him because he's really self-conscious about it, and I just wasn't sure if there was maybe something physically wrong with his body that he's not able to control that.
What have the doctors said, Tina? Have you talked to his doctor about it?
Yes, we've gone to the pediatrician, and they did a urine test, and they said everything looked good. He is anemic, but he's actually struggling with Lyme's disease right now. He's on doxycycline. He just finished a 28-day course, and we go back to Children's Hospital for that. So that's kind of been going on, and they're not sure. They found out about this anemia when he was getting the blood work for the Lyme's. He had his whole leg swelled up, and he had a cyst that ruptured, and that was in his knee, and that ended up being from the Lyme's. But it's just a weird thing. But they're like I have an appointment with a urologist in like a month, and that's kind of where we're going with it. We don't really know what else to do, but I just thought maybe you might have some insight if you could like look at his bladder or something.
Yeah, absolutely. I've already connected into you. I'm going to connect from you. What's your son's name? River. I'm going to connect from you to River.
River, yeah.
And then I'm asking River, is it okay if I scan you? I'm talking to your mom. He's given me permission. I always ask permission, Tina, because I think it's an invasion of privacy. You know, if we go in and look at somebody's body, it's like looking at an x-ray without their permission. So I always ask permission. Even if it's a fetus, I ask permission because it's that little spirit. And that's its prerogative to decide whether it wants us to see what's going on or not. So I'm going to hold you over the break, Tina, and I will check River over the break, and then I'll give you a report when I come back. Stay with us, everybody.
Great, thank you.
You're listening to the Ask Julie Ryan show, and we'll be right back. Welcome back. Before the break, we were talking with Tina in Pennsylvania about her son, River, who's 14. Right, Tina? And he's got a wetting the bed. How long has he had the Lyme? When was he diagnosed with the Lyme?
So that just happened. He did 28 days with the medicine. He was admitted into Children's Hospital for 4 days with this swollen knee, swollen foot, and they didn't know what it was. They thought it was a blood clot, and then they found out it was a popliteal cyst that ruptured, and they think he had Lyme for a little while, maybe a little less than a year, but he was having an acute attack. And he's biking and running and hiking and dancing and stuff. So it just happened. And then the blood work showed that his numbers were really high for the Lyme, and the infectious disease thinks that was what caused that cyst to grow. And so we're treating it with this doxycycline, and their protocol is we go back and they do check him out, and if it's not better, they repeat it. And I'm not going to do that because that stuff is nasty, and I'm just going to work with other things if it didn't work. But I think it did. He seems better. He's got more energy. The swelling definitely went down in his knee.
Okay.
But yeah, that's what's going on.
Have you had a water leak? Do you have a mold issue in your home?
I don't know. I was thinking of that because, I'm always curious, but I had 2 dehumidifiers running in my basement, and I have air conditioning too. So it's pretty dry as far as keeping it, the humidity controlled.
Well, the reason I ask is
but
Lyme
the basement, could have water.
Lyme is oftentimes, some huge percentage of the time, is mold exposure. Even if you've got a tick bite, there's a mold issue there too when it really ramps up like that. So if you think you have water in the basement, I would check that out because he's full of yeast. He's full of candida yeast that I cleared out of him. And normally, my clues are there's always yeast present when mold is present. I did see mold in his system that I cleared out as well. And like I said, oftentimes Lyme is misdiagnosed mold. So I would be sure that they call him in some nystatin, NYSTATIN. It's an antifungal. I would be sure that he's on that when he's on the antibiotics. And I believe that's what's going on with him. I think that his bladder was full of yeast, and I saw mold. So I think he's got a mold and a yeast problem. Okay. Which most doctors are not going to know about. Yeah.
Yeah, and he has a hard time with carbs and sugar. I really have to I'm constantly trying to police that with him.
Right. Because the yeast makes him crave it. That's it.
Yeah. Oh, he's an addict for sure. He's trying to sneak, sugar all the time.
Right. So I would get him on some nystatin.
That's oral. He's taking that.
You want to take? Can he swallow pills?
Yes.
Yeah. Have him do the tablets, and then that will help. But I would check into the yeast and also the mold, and I hope he feels better. Thanks for calling.
Great. Thank you so much, Julie.
You're welcome.
I appreciate you.
Bye-bye. Let's go to Ashley next. Hi, Ashley.
Hi.
How are you?
Good. So I'm from Sioux City, Iowa, and I hope you have a lot of fun with your son. I'm excited for you.
Yeah, me too. I call him His Majesty.
Yay!
Oh, His Majesty.
I love that. I know that made me laugh.
I know. Somebody was saying to him not too long ago, well, how do you feel about being an only child? And he said, well, it's good to be the center of the universe, because I've told him that his whole life. He's the center of the universe. And he's such a great kid. I mean, he's a man-child now at 30, but he really is just a joy. He's a joy. So you got a question for me?
Oh, yeah. So, okay. I started having symptoms of kind of just like nausea and then a little bit of diarrhea. I went to the doctor because I had a cat scratch, and she said, I can't really tell if it's infected. I'm going to give you this amoxicillin. Okay. So I took the amoxicillin one time, and I didn't take it again because it like made me whoa. Like, it was just the diarrhea. It was really bad. Nausea was really bad. But I've had nausea and kind of like the pain under my boobs, like that upper abdominal pain. And so that's ongoing. And then just like not really an appetite. So I have had a stomach ulcer, and I've had gastritis before. I have GERD. I don't know if these are the things going on, but I also have pelvic pain now in my lower back. I think that's unrelated. I think that's like BV or yeast, and I am going to the doctor tomorrow to get swabbed, so that's okay.
It's yeast.
But
it's yeast.
Yeah, it's yeast.
Yeah, it's
okay,
yeast.
That's exactly what I thought. Okay, yep.
It's yeast, and GERD is always yeast too, always, 100% of the time. It's yeast overgrowth in the GI tract. Get some nystatin. Stay low on the food chain. If God made it, eat it. If man made it in a factory, do your best to avoid it. Stay away from refined things. Stay away from fermented foods. That antibiotic you just took one day, and it just set those yeasties free. Is what's going on, Ashley. So get some nystatin.
Yeah. Perfect. So, and then I am going to see a GI doctor and have them biopsy for the candida overgrowth too, which may or may not show, but we know candida.
Just treat it like it is.
Thank you
it's very hard to detect, and you just treat it like it is, and then it'll go away. And when you know that you don't have any symptoms anymore, you're good. Because it's really hard to diagnose it. There really aren't many tests available because nobody makes any money off of it. The nystatin's been off patent for about 70 years.
Right.
And my prescription for nystatin is free because it's so cheap. It's like pennies a tablet.
That's amazing.
I know. So
that's amazing. My last. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, that's all right. So thanks for calling. I hope you feel better. Get some nystatin. Get somebody to prescribe some nystatin for you, and you'll feel better. Thanks for calling. All right, everybody, we're going to take another quick break. When we come back, we'll have, who are we having? We're going to have Jasmine on next. Stay with us. You're listening to the Ask Julie Ryan Show. And we're back, and we've got Jasmine on the line. Hi, Jasmine.
Hi there.
How are you, girl?
I'm doing okay, thanks. You?
Terrific. I'm well, thanks. Where are you? Where are you located?
I'm located out of Boulder, Colorado.
Boulder. Okay, terrific. Well, you got a question for me?
I do. Question is regarding my daughter Ava's health. And in 2020, she was diagnosed with superior mesenteric artery syndrome.
I'm having trouble hearing you. Can you, Jasmine, you're cutting out. So, can you, okay.
Is that better?
Okay, say something.
Better?
Another sentence.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Well, it's kind of choppy, but let's try it. Go ahead. Your daughter, Ava.
All right. Yeah, so in 2020, she was diagnosed with superior mesenteric artery syndrome. And we sent
You know what?
About half of the year.
It's so hard to hear you. So maybe you can hang up and call back in and I'll get you on the back side because it's so choppy that I'm having trouble understanding you. I'm sorry. All right, let's try Brenda. Hi, Brenda.
Hi.
Hi. How are you?
Can you hear me?
I can, yes.
Oh, okay.
Where are you?
Well, to be real honest with you, I'm not that good. I'm really not that good. I've been much better in other times of my life, to be honest.
Where are you located?
Right now, I'm in Sallisaw, Oklahoma.
Okay. Terrific.
And, yeah, I don't belong here. When I moved here with a man that I won't call him my husband because he's not my husband. He's more like a housemate. Mm-hmm. But I moved here after my mother had died. And I tell you the truth, Julie, my mind was blank. I wasn't thinking. I couldn't hear my spirit. I couldn't hear my soul. I was totally blank.
Mm-hmm.
And, that was in 2017, the end of 2017. And so I moved here in 2018. And now I'm really looking to move back to Colorado because I'm more in tune with the land there and the people.
Did you have a question about that? Brenda, did you have a question for me about that?
I think you answer more medical questions, don't you?
I don't. I answer it all. I'm a buffet of psychicness. So what's your question? And I'll see if I can help you.
Okay. I'd like to know about the move because right now I'm having problems with my eyes. My eyes aren't making tears. And the doctor's been having me put these eye drops in every 2 hours, but they're starting to make me sick to my stomach,
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like I've got all these blocks coming up, and it's really hot here now. So I feel like I can put the house on the market in September. Yeah, I'm giving you all this information for you to answer the question if I'm going to be able to move.
Yes, you're going to be able to move. As far as the drops in your eyes, I would talk to the doctor and see if they can find a different prescription for you if those are making you nauseous. But yes, you absolutely are going to be able to move. And I'm getting, don't wait until it's cooler to put the house on the market. Go ahead and put it on the market as soon as you can because you end up having people that want to come in and get in before the school system starts for the new year. And so I'm getting to go ahead and put it on the market as soon as you can.
Okay. Okay, I can do that.
Well, good luck with that.
And you don't, thank you.
You're welcome.
Because I just have to tell you that I also have epilepsy.
Okay.
And it's a low-grade form.
Maybe it would be a good idea for you to schedule a whole hour with me, and then we can go through all these other different things, and then we can do a deep dive, and we can go through all of this. So just go to AskJulieRyan.com and schedule an hour, and then we'll be able to go through all these things. So good luck with the move, and call your doctor about your eyes, and I hope you get some other drops that work better for you. Thanks for calling.
Okay.
Let's go back to Jasmine. Hi, Jasmine. Let's see if this is a better connection.
Hi. Can you hear me okay?
Oh, yeah. Way better. Way better. Good job.
Doesn't sound like... Oh, good. Yeah. Oh, good.
Yeah.
All right. So thanks for coming back to me. So my question I mentioned is in regards to my daughter, Ava, and her health. In 2020, she was diagnosed with superior mesenteric artery syndrome, and she spent the better half of 2020 in and out of Children's Hospital here in Colorado, just trying to stabilize and get some nutrition in her. She was able to maintain it through 2021 when she got stabilized on her own through just, living a normal life. And she recently relapsed. So we're actually sitting in the Children's Hospital as I speak. And I'm just wondering if you're able to tell me what we should do to get her better or managing or get to the place where she's managing her condition better, or maybe if there's something else that that might be going on that we need to consider.
Okay. How old is Ava, first of all, Jasmine?
17.
She's 17. And what is this artery syndrome? I'm not familiar with that. I've never heard that term before. What happens with it?
Oh, sure. So basically, there's a fat pad that lies in between the duodenum, your lower stomach, and the superior mesenteric artery. And when that fat pad dissipated, basically, and now the artery is clamping down on her lower stomach. So basically, nothing can pass through her small intestine. So anything she eats or drinks comes right back up. And we've been trying some other feeding methods, such as like tubes, right? And they just keep coming back up.
Oh, heavens. So what, is she on IV nutrition then?
Currently just an IV.
Oh, heavens. All right. Let me get her on my radar. See if she'll let me scan her. Jasmine, what I'm going to do is I'm going to connect to you and then from you to Ava. Did you talk to her about talking with me by any chance?
I did. She's right here.
Oh, good. Hi, Ava. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Got her. If I'm talking to your mom, obviously, it's okay if I scan you. She's saying yes. All right. I'm going in. So what I'm watching is scaffolding get put in her GI tract to hold it open. And it looks like, you know what a strawberry basket, the plastic on a strawberry basket looks like?
Yeah.
Where that's what it looks like. And it's a cylinder. It's cylindrical, but it has those cross hatches, where it makes kind of a diamond pattern. And I'm watching that get put into her GI tract to keep that tube open so that it can go down. So it's almost like, how when they're building a bridge or a cement block that's a guardrail on a bridge, on a highway, they'll put rebar in first to stabilize it. That's what's happening with the scaffolding. That's what I'm seeing get put in there. All right, and that's going into her intestinal wall. It's running the whole GI tract from her stomach down to do that. All right, and what I'm doing is I'm basically cleaning out her GI tract. Imagine there's a little corkscrew that's spinning and it's morcellating anything that's in the way. So we're doing that. And then I'm pouring stem cell energy in there to regenerate that whole GI tract so she can do that. So what are the doctors saying? I mean, is there something that can be done surgically, or what's the treatment strategy?
There are surgery. So with these compression syndromes, they're pretty touchy, I guess. And there are surgeries, absolutely. They're not always recommended because they're not always successful. And sometimes people actually have worse outcome than before they have the surgery. So the doctors currently are trying to be conservative and try and, all of our best ditch options, basically, to see if we can just get her back to a maintaining where she's, whether it's formula feeds through a tube or something like that. But so far we haven't been able to get a tube to stay in place. That's the problem.
Yeah. less than optimal for a teenager, let alone anybody. Okay.
A very active one at that.
Hopefully that healing that I just watched happen, Jasmine, will hold that open enough that she can get some nutrition in there and it'll hold. Oh, heavens. Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Good luck to her and to you and your family. Is it in Ava's best interest to have surgery? If they do the surgery, what are they going to do? What's the strategy on that?
It is something similar, I think, to what you were describing, to be honest. And it's there's a couple of different things. They can actually cut it to reposition.
I'm going to put you on hold, Jasmine. And when we come back from our break, then we'll finish the conversation. Stay with us, everybody. You're listening to the Ask Julie Ryan Show. I'll be right back. And we're back. We were talking with Jasmine in Boulder about her daughter Ava before the break. So we were talking about surgeries. I'm getting that it's in her best interest to really explore the surgeries. And I'm getting that they'll be successful. And it's almost like a graft that's going to get put in to hold that tube open, is what I'm seeing. That's the healing that I saw, and my guess is the surgery perhaps will be something similar to that. I think you alluded to that before the break. Is that right?
An artificial opening.
Mm-hmm.
Between the two.
Right.
So.
Okay. All right. Well, you're starting to cut out again, so I'm going to let you go. But I wish you and Ava all the best. My goodness, I'm so sorry that you guys are going through all of this, and I hope I hope the healing helps. Okay. Thanks, Jasmine.
I really do appreciate it. Thank you.
You are most welcome. Bye. All righty. Let's go to Miss Amy next. Hi, Amy.
Hi, thanks so much. Hey, I got COVID. Can you help me figure anything out for this?
Yeah. What are your symptoms?
I don't feel really sick. Tired, probably run down, maybe my nose. I've had it since last Friday.
Yeah, it's running its course. Amy, tell everybody where you're located, please.
In San Diego, California.
San Diego. So what I'm doing is I'm forcing it out the top of your head. And vitamin C, I want you to take 1,000 milligrams of C. Get the buffered. I like ester C, but any kind of buffered C, Amy, it's going to help make it easier on your tummy. And take it with 50 milligrams of zinc. So 1,000 of C, 50 of zinc, 3 times a day. That's an antiviral.
Awesome.
It's gonna,
I have that too.
It's going to help you heal. Okay, that's number one. Are you taking D3?
Yes, I am.
Okay, how much are you taking?
It's 50,000 for one tablet. I think I've been doing one tablet.
50,000? Okay. Usually 10 is about what you want to do, but take the vitamin D, get in the sun for at least 20 minutes to 30 minutes a day, because that'll help the D convert. Don't be there
doing it
and get fried in the sun with a sunburn, but go out and just get some sun in the morning before the sun gets really strong. Are you taking K2 as well, Amy?
I'm not.
Okay.
Didn't think of that one.
You want to take K2 because it helps the D absorb.
Okay. And then I'm getting colloidal silver sometime by tomorrow morning.
Colloidal silver, what are you doing with that? Gargling with that?
gargle. You can drink it, and you can rub it on your hands to disinfect.
Yeah.
Because I live with other people in the house, and it's, I'm trying to avoid people, but it's not so easy.
Mm-hmm. I've always heard to just gargle with colloidal silver, but don't swallow it. Colloidal silver, for those of you that don't know, is silver molecules in a liquid. And silver is an antibacterial. Bacteria cannot grow on in a metallic environment. Amy, did you know that back in the olden days, the really wealthy people had sterling silver doorknobs? Did you know that? And that's why. Because bacteria would grow on the doorknobs. And they also used
silverware that was
sterling.
They used silverware too.
Yeah, yep. Exactly. So
now we go to metal and all that.
Right. The doorknobs, sometimes you'll see them in an antique store and they'll have really ornate doorknobs on there. So all of those things, it's like a bad cold is what it looks like with you. This too shall pass. It's just, normally you would just say, oh, I have a bad cold, but, there's lots of other side effects. I have a lot of energy, but I'm frustrated about this one, so it is what it is. So you see it's on its way out. Yeah, it is. And I help push it out. Yeah, absolutely.
God
I think you got cut off. You got cut off last week. You're moving. Is that what happened?
Yeah, I hit the off button. I was so upset. I was like, no, I did that. I ended the call by mistake. I was turning the volume off.
Oh, goodness. Well, so you're in the middle of the move and you got sick?
And no, I moved twice, and then I'm thinking of moving again because this isn't working here. But I have to get rid of this thing and find a place. So, it's been stressful.
Yeah, I bet.
It's been really stressful. Yeah, so I was happy, and then they sold the building, and, it is what it is. So I'll keep looking in Coronado, but I haven't even begun yet. But right. you keep mentioning Coronado, so I'll see what I can get there.
That's what we got for you the last couple of times you've called in. So are you getting rest? Are you able to rest? Are you trying to work? What are you doing?
Oh, no, I'm resting a lot. I take naps. I make myself rest because I'm not a rester, but I'm like, okay, everybody says rest. So I've been sleeping a lot. I have no schedule, basically staying away from people, but I can't avoid that. I put a mask on and, but I go out every day in the sun and I go hiking out in the remote area where nobody exists, completely away from people. That makes me feel really happy.
Mm-hmm.
So, but
take it easy on the hikes. Take it easy on the hikes because, you got to give your body a chance to recover. And I know some of those hiking trails down there. Stay on flat lands as much as you can. So what are you going up and down the hills?
No, I've been, it's been pretty flat, except there's one area, there's a couple miniature uphills, but I take it real easy. Like I walk it and then I stop and I rest and I walk it because normally I just bulldoze it. But now I'm like, okay, we got time to smell the roses.
Yeah.
But it just makes me feel happy to be out in nature and being in the canyons. But they're not, I'm not doing anything super strenuous.
Okay, good.
So,
all right. Well,
but I'll rest.
I think you're doing all the right things. Push fluids as much as you can, and you got maybe a few more days, and then you're going to be good as gold. So, good luck with the move. Hope you feel better. Thanks, Amy.
Thank you so much.
You are most welcome. Okay, everybody, we're going to take another quick break. When we come back, we'll get more callers on, see what their questions are, and see what Spirit has to say as an answer. You're listening to the Ask Julie Ryan show, so stay with us. We'll be right back. And we're back. We do this show every Thursday night at 8 Eastern, 7 Central, and 5 Pacific. The call-in number is 667-770-1476. And the access code is 483-620-pound. Now, this information is available on my website, AskJulieRyan.com, and in the show notes anywhere you download podcasts. You can find it on pretty much all of the podcast networks, and we're also on YouTube and Alexa. Please remember to subscribe and leave a review at ratethispodcast.com/Julie. That's ratethispodcast.com/Julie. And you will be entered into a drawing for a free session with me. I give one away the first Thursday of every month, and it's valued at a couple $100. And it's really fun because we get the opportunity to really go through anything you want to discuss. We can do medical stuff. We can talk to deceased loved ones. We can do your pets, like pretty much everything you hear on the show. We can cram as much into an hour as is possible. And we do. Every appointment is like that. So it's fast paced and it's fun. Call-in details can also be found on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and Pinterest at Ask Julie Ryan. Be sure and follow me on those social media channels, especially Instagram and Facebook, because I'm always posting stuff during the week, and it's fun. I get to converse back and forth. People will send me messages, and I'll always answer them. So be sure and follow me on Instagram and Facebook. And we'll always post a reminder to call in the day of the show with the call-in information and all of that. While you're on my website, AskJulieRyan.com, be sure and sign up for my weekly blog. That's a question somebody has submitted online, and then I answer it. And in the body of the email, guess what there is? Here's the call-in information. So I'm trying to make it easy on you guys. So it'll be quick and easy when you want to call into this show. You can also schedule an appointment with me at AskJulieRyan.com. And I'm booked out for a couple of months. The key is get on my calendar whenever it's available. And then periodically check on your confirmation email. Save it in your inbox, and there'll be a reschedule button on there. So click on that periodically, and people reschedule all the time, multiple times a week. And oftentimes you can get in within a couple of days. So happens every time. Every time I talk to somebody that's gotten in that way, they go, "Oh, I didn't know that was really a thing." I say it every week. So it's really a thing. So my trainings, angelic attendant training, we're finishing the last week of the summer class. It's been so remarkable. And so we'll do that this Saturday. And then there'll be another class in October. That's full. I've got a few spots left for January of 2023. So if you're thinking of taking the angelic attendant training, that's a live training via Zoom. And I teach it live, and I limit it to 12 students. So it's very hands-on. And then in response to so many requests from listeners and from clients to come up with a less expensive version, I came up with the Angels and Enlightenment training. That's self-paced, it's online, but both have practice group sessions, multiple ones a week. That's the key. You can learn stuff, but then when you use it, it really gets into your system, and it's just like second nature. You can do everything that I do, I promise. So if you're interested in that, check out my trainings. So everything you need to know is at AskJulieRyan.com. Okay, let's go to the question submitted this week. And it's Dawn from Ontario, Canada. Dawn, male Dawn, D-O-N, like Donald. And Dawn said, "Dear Julie, I understand that the 12 phases of transition are experienced by most. What happens to those who commit acts of evil or do harm to others? Are they separated from others in the afterlife because of their low energy field, or are they brought into the afterlife like all others? Many mediums say different things. What's the truth?" And here's my response. Hi, Dawn. What a great question. It's one I'm often asked. Everyone is a spirit connected to a body having a human experience, and all spirits are pure love. The human side of us has what we call personality traits, and those characteristics stay with the body when somebody dies. So, Every person goes through the 12 phases of transition, a sequence of events involving angels and the spirits of deceased loved ones and pets at the end of their lives. And everyone's spirit transitions into a non-physical state, often called heaven. All acts, whether they be judged by us humans as good or evil, are seen purely as neutral human experiences by spirit. Now, that's an interesting concept that we're not taught. So that's a stretch for some people to get. But boy, I've gotten that over the years from spirit, loud and clear. And then I ended it with saying, hope this clarifies things for you. To learn more about what happens when someone dies, please read my book, Angelic Attendants, What Really Happens as We Transition from This Life into the Next. So, a couple of points here. We've all been taught about evil spirits, heaven and hell, all of that. A lot of fear. Fear is the number one way that religions and cultures and governments control people. I mean, for heaven's sakes, we're just coming out of the pandemic for a couple of years, and that was a lot of fear that was generated with that. And look at the control that happened throughout the world as a result of that situation. So when we die, everybody goes into non-physical, everybody goes to heaven. Like the movie All Dogs Go to Heaven, all people go to heaven too. And we think of somebody who was just evil when they were alive. Well, all of that stays with the body, all those personality traits, and their spirit goes back into non-physical, transitions into what we know as heaven. So it's kind of hard for us to wrap our heads around that because it challenges what we've been taught. And it's just something that I've heard for decades from spirit, and I truly believe it. I have helped thousands of people over the years transition and help their families. I have never seen angels drop a spirit into a fiery burning pit, ever. They all are escorted to heaven. So that's my belief based on what I've seen throughout all of these years. And it's an interesting concept for you to ponder. Even if you don't buy it right away, it's something for you to think about. By the way, if you go to AskJulieRyan.com, there is a downloadable chart that's free of the 12 phases of transition on my website. Just go to the 12 phases of transition page. You can download the chart, save it on your phone. So if you're ever in this situation, not if, when you're in this situation where somebody is at the end of their life, a loved one, all you have to do is just ask, what phase is my grandmother in? What phase is my whomever in? And you're going to get a number, and then you can refer to the chart. And if you're seeing that they're progressing like stage 4, 5, 6, 7, something like that, you're going to want to pay attention to that. And it's not that once somebody's in the phases that they're stuck in the phases. People can go in and out of the phases. They can be phase 10. They can come back to phase 4. They can move around. But it's a guide that helps us when we need to take time off work, when we need to travel to be with family and loved ones at the end of life. So just go to AskJulieRyan.com and download that chart and just save it on your phone. Okay, let's go back to the phones, and our next caller's Julie. Hi, Julie.
Hi, Julie.
Hi, love your name.
Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am. I love your name.
Okay, I like yours too.
Well, thanks. Do you have a middle name?
Ellen.
Ellen. Haven't heard that one before. I'm an Ann. Julie Ann. It's pretty common. It was my Mima's name. I'm named for my Mima. But she was Julia Ann, and I'm Julie Ann.
Oh, okay. Well, my daughter just gave her Ellen as her middle name.
Oh, how sweet. So, after you?
I'm hoping that passes on. Yep.
Nice.
Yeah, so
well,
that was
an
nice.
honor. Terrific.
Yep.
Well, where are you located?
I'm in Seabrook, New Hampshire.
Say it again.
I am in Seabrook, New Hampshire.
Okay, New Hampshire. All right, you're cutting out too. All right, say another sentence. I may have you call back in.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. I'm going to have you call back in, Julie. Hang up, call back in, see if you can get on a better connection, and I'll circle back around and get you, because that's a tough connection. Okay. All right. Talk to you in a minute. All right. Let's go to Jennifer. Let's try Jennifer. Hi, Jennifer.
Hi, this is Jennifer. Hi, Julie.
Hi, Jennifer. How are you this evening?
Can you hear me okay?
I can. You're
I'm doing great.
Too.
Doing great.
Good.
Thank you for
Where
taking
are you?
my call. I'm near Asheville, North Carolina, in the beautiful mountains of Blue Ridge.
Yeah, I love Asheville.
Wananoa. Yeah.
Terrific.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Terrific. Great. I love Asheville. It's one of my favorite cities.
Oh, really? Yeah. I mean, I love it too. I moved here on purpose, so it's like I'm not surprised. Yeah. But I guess people really know about Asheville. It's
right.
We got a lot of people moving here every year.
It's the celebrities live there. So, are you a celebrity?
Yeah, familiar. You would
okay.
No.
All right, Jennifer, I'm going to hold you over for the break.
Okay.
When we come back, we will get Miss Jennifer on, see what her questions are, and see what Spirit has to say for an answer. So stay with us, everybody. You're listening to the Ask Julie Ryan Show. We'll be right back. Welcome back, everybody. Before the break, we were talking with Jennifer in Asheville, North Carolina. Jennifer, are you still with me?
I am.
Okay, good. All right. You got a question for me?
Yes, I do. So you've helped me before. I have breast cancer, and since we've talked, it has diminished quite a bit. I've changed my protocols to just kind of get my body in balance and just put nutrition back into my body and detox the things that aren't supposed to be there. But to make a long story short, I'm still on one hormone blocker, and I think just the year and a half of treatments I've been on has done some damage maybe to my body, or leached a lot of minerals out of my body, because what I'm experiencing is pretty severe leg cramps. And I've done everything. I massaged them. I've gotten hot and cold showers. I've gotten the salt baths. I've upped my magnesium. I've taken vitamin B. I've done red lights. I've done, lymphatic massage. So it's like, I'm still like waking up like every hour from the leg cramp.
Geez. Oh, geez.
And my legs they feel a little colder than normal, like the lower part of my legs.
Mm-hmm. Did it start?
So I don't know what else to do.
Did it start when you were on this medication? I'm getting is it a side effect to the medication that you're on? Have you checked that out?
They're not going to say it is, but I did listen to a speaker this week that said they don't have to say that it leaches minerals from your body. It is not listed as one of the side effects, but this is what I'm getting, and I never had it before.
Okay. Have you ever heard a number needed to treat, Jennifer? NNT? Does that ring a bell?
Number needed to treat?
Mm-hmm. The number needed to treat is the number of people that need to take a medicine in order for it to be effective with one person. So the higher the number, the less effective the medicine. The odds are exponentially worse the higher the number is in the NNT. Before a medicine is approved to be sold by the FDA or the basically the FDA in any country, whatever it's called, there has to be clinical studies done, and they have to submit those numbers to that regulatory body. I was governed under the FDA when I manufactured surgical devices because, it's a regulated field, so I know it well. So you want to Google or do an internet search on the medicine that you have and just put the acronym NNT at the end of the search and then see what that number is. And if it's much over like 20, you want to have an intelligent conversation with your doctor about it. I'm getting it's from your medication. I'm getting it's a side effect. The other thing you can do is go to pubmed.org. Have you been on that website?
Yeah, I'm a researcher. I research about 3 hours every day.
Okay.
Yeah,
perfect.
this is how I've gotten better. It's just
perfect.
Yeah. So, and my doctors, they, unfortunately, they think this is just a normal acceptable side effect, but I don't think it's ever acceptable when you're not sleeping at night.
No.
And I don't think it's acceptable. So, right. And the only thing that they're telling me is to take pickle juice. I'm like, okay, you have to have something better for me than that.
Yeah.
So I've been researching, listening to all these things, and what might help, and I've been taking them and, doing everything I'm supposed to be doing, but nothing. I mean, it's working a little. It's just not working. It's still persisting. This has been going on for about 6 weeks, maybe 2 months.
Geez. Well, if you're not sleeping, that's not going to help you heal. So I would check in the number needed to treat. I'm getting it's a side effect from your medication.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Well, I did go off one of the medications because I felt that. Yeah. All right. Well, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
All right.
Good
I
luck.
appreciate your help. Thank you.
You bet.
Bye-bye.
Let's try Julie again. Hi, Julie.
Hi. Is this better?
It is. It's way better. Thank you. Thank you for calling back in.
Okay.
All right. Julie from New Hampshire, Julie Ellen. See, I got a good memory. Julie Ellen.
Yep.
Yeah. With the new grandbaby named Ellen, her middle name.
Yes.
Yeah. Got a question for me?
So I do. I lost my son to suicide. A month and a half ago.
Oh, what's his name, Julie?
He didn't leave any. Randy.
Okay. I'm so sorry.
He didn't leave any note. He didn't leave anything.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if you can see him or.
Yeah, absolutely. How old was Randy, Julie?
39.
Oh, gosh.
He was 39.
I'm so sorry. I can't even imagine what you're going through. The only thing I can tell you, yes, he's standing next to you and we can talk to him. The only thing I can tell you that hopefully will give you a little teeny morsel of peace is he was surrounded by angels and the spirits of deceased loved ones when he passed. Because everybody is, what I was talking about with the question, my blog this week that I answered. And that's regardless of whether we die instantly or whether we die over days, weeks, months, years. It doesn't matter because time doesn't exist in the spirit world. So did you have a question for Randy? Did he have a family that he left, or was he single, or what was the story there?
He was single. He's single, but he does have a son that's out in Washington State across the country. Who is coming out in another couple weeks to spend some time here. But I guess my question is why he didn't leave a note, or I don't understand why he did it the way he did it.
Mm-hmm.
And if he was indeed alone when he passed.
He's saying, yes, he was alone when he passed. Was he ill, Julie? Did he have some medical thing going on?
He was a drug addict.
Okay. All right. So that's what he's saying is that he had so many medical issues that it was just overwhelming and he didn't want to be a burden to anybody. And so that's why he chose to leave. And he's saying it was quick, it was easy, he's sorry for the grief he's caused, but it was a quick, easy way to exit. So he's around you. Talk to him, and he'll answer you. We're going to take another quick break. Everybody stay with us. You're listening to the Ask Julie Ryan show. Julie, sending you a big hug. I'm so sorry. And we're back, and our next caller's Lori. Hi, Lori.
Hi, Julie. Thanks for taking my call.
You're welcome. Where are you located?
I'm in San Diego, California.
Oh, poor baby. I'm so sorry. It's such an awful place. I'm kidding, of course. It's beautiful.
We're actually having a much cooler July than we normally do, so that's been really nice.
There you go. Nice. Well, good. Well, welcome. Do you have a question for me?
I do. I called you probably about 9 months ago about my dog. Her name's Sophia. She's a Newfoundland, And she had a brain tumor 2.5 years ago that we did some intense radiation on. And we have had 2.5 years of miracle with her surviving. But unfortunately, she started having a lot of seizures again. There's not really anything we can do for her because of her age. And, so we're not even going to do an MRI on her. The neurologist thinks that it's scar tissue that's creating the seizures again. So I've increased her meds, which is pretty much at the top of the amount of meds that she can take. She's comfortable right now. I just wanted to know, is she transitioning? And if so, well, what can I do for her to make her days comfortable and pleasant? Is there anything she wants or needs?
Yeah. How young is she, Lori? You said you're not going to do things because of her age. What's
she's
her
8.5.
Okay.
She's 8.5, but she is a Newfoundland, so their typical age span is 8 to 10 years.
Okay. All right. What I'm going to do is I'm going to connect to you and from you to Sophia. So here we go. Here comes my laser beam from Sweet Home, Alabama, heading out to you. Got Sophia. Sophia's spirit's coming in and out of her body. You know what whack-a-mole is? They have it at fairs where, something pops up and then you whack it and it goes back in the hole. That's what I'm seeing with her. Her spirit's not completely out of her body. Humans, the spirit exits through the top of the head. Same with animals. Animals, I don't see the sequence of events with angels and their litter mates and deceased family, over the years. I don't see that with animals, but I do see this spirit bubble that exits out through the top of the head. So she's kind of in that in-between phase. She's thinking about it. Let me see if I can get her spirit to stay in her body. I'm doing it. I'm tagging it. I'll do this every once in a while, Lori, and I tack it down to her feet. I sew it in place. Did you ever see Peter Pan as a kid? The movie or the cartoon or the play?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Well, at the beginning,
actually,
when
funny, the dog Nana in Peter Pan is a Newfoundland.
Well, there you go. That's why I'm getting this as an example from Spirit. At the beginning of the movie, for those of you that aren't familiar with it, Peter Pan has lost his shadow, and it's in the nursery. So Wendy, when she meets Peter Pan, she sews his shadow to his feet, to his toes, so that it stays tacked in. And that's what I do when I'm trying to get somebody's spirit to stay in their body, whether it be an animal or a human, is I'll tack it in like Wendy and Peter Pan. So there you go. All right. So I've got that in. What I'm doing is I'm in her brain right now and I'm removing scar tissue. I am seeing another tumor forming. I'm encapsulating that. Let's see if we can get that out. And it's like it's in a nest. You know those coconut nests that at Easter time that'll have maybe 3 little tiny jelly beans in them? They're white chocolate or green chocolate. I know you've seen them over the years. I used to love those when I was eating sugar. And so, so that tumor's surrounded by scar tissue. So it's kind of like it's in a nest. So I'm cutting all that out. Scar tissue looks like, in her brain, Lori, it looks like that fake spider web material that you get out of a bag at Halloween and you can put it in a window or on a bush or something like that. And so that's what I'm cutting out right now. Remove the tumor, putting stem cell energy in there to redo the brain matter and see if that helps some. All right. So Sophia, are you ready to go? She's saying she didn't say no. She said, "Oh no!" Like, "Oh no."
I didn't think so.
No, she's not. What do you need? More time. Okay. What can Lori do to help make you more comfortable? She tries to sit on your lap is basically what she's telling me. She'd love to sit on your lap, but she's kind of big to be doing that. But does she sit on the couch next to you and snuggle up next to you? Or do you get on the floor with her?
Well, she's actually laying on the floor. We get on the floor with her. We don't let her on the furniture.
Yeah. A lot of hair.
She has 2 bad knees, so she lays on the floor.
Yeah. Not to mention the shedding. Okay.
She's been like extremely clingy lately.
Yeah.
So
yeah. she'd like to sit on your lap. So get on the floor with her, let her rest her head. Like if I see you leaning up with your back against the couch and your legs outstretched, and she can put her head in your lap that way. She'd like to do that. Okay. So I'm not getting that she's going to exit anytime really soon, but she's thinking about it. And that's what I'm getting there.
Okay.
Any other questions?
Can I ask one other question about her? To do with her brain.
Yeah.
So, we do know that the inevitable, unfortunately, will happen at some point sooner than we want to. She had a special radiation treatment called a cyberknife surgery, which there's only 2 veterinarians here in the United States that do that, and one happens to be near where I live. I wanted to, after she passes, have her go back to the veterinarian so that he can look at her brain afterwards and use it as research, because he's one of the 2. He doesn't get the opportunity very often to research on his patients so that he can further his studies to help other animals. Is that something that she would be okay with?
She's saying absolutely. Absolutely.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
But she's kind of a different situation that he hasn't encountered before, and I wanted her to be able to help others in the future.
Yeah. Okay. Well, just let her put her head in your lap. That's her big request, is she wants to sit on your lap. So that would be maybe a negotiated thing that would be a happy medium for the both of you.
No, we lay on the floor together all the time.
There you go. All right. Well, I hope that helps. Okay. Good luck with all of that.
It.
Thanks for calling, Lori.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Let's go to Kevin next. Hi, Kevin. Hi, Kevin.
Oh, hi, Julie. How are you?
There you are. I'm terrific. How are you, sir?
Yeah. Very good. How you doing?
Terrific. Thanks. Where are you located?
Good. I'm in Plymouth, Massachusetts.
Oh, wow. Plymouth Rock.
Yeah.
I've been there.
America's hometown.
There you go.
I've been here for 35 years or so.
Terrific. Well, good. You have a question for me?
I do. I have a question about a health issue. It's far from debilitating or anything, but it's about my breathing. I have this thing. I don't know whether it's physical or psychological. It doesn't happen all the time, but enough to be a pain in the butt. And it's where I kind of hold my breath or force air out, and then I just, obviously I take the next breath in, but it does it a few times. I don't know if it's some kind of tick or psychological or what, but I'd love to get rid of it.
Okay, so
going up for a few years now.
So you breathe in and you hold your breath and then you exhale.
Yeah, I kind of force the air out, it sometimes makes not a loud noise. But I was watching a movie with my son a couple of months ago. He said, "Hey, quiet down over there." I can't help it. It's this weird thing I got. He thought I was singing or something.
Have you can you get a pulse ox at the oximeter you can order them on Amazon, you can get them at the drugstore, and see what your oxygen level is? Kevin, I'm getting that you're doing that because it gives you more oxygen. It forces you to bring in a lot of air and then exhale a lot of carbon dioxide. I would measure your oxygen level. And they're cheap. They're like $10. They're those little things that they clip on your finger, and it'll tell you what your oxygen saturation rate. Yeah, I would do that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Try that and see what your oxygen level is, because I'm getting that it's what just came into my head is an autonomic nervous response to get more oxygen into your body. I don't know if that's a thing, that's just what I'm getting. But I'm also getting for you to get a pulse oximeter, and put it on your finger and then see what your oxygen levels are. And you may want to measure it before you do it and then measure it after you do it and see what happens. That makes sense?
It doesn't. Yeah, it does. I've had that. A girlfriend of mine a couple years ago had one of those for a different reason, but she wanted me to try that out. And then,
okay. Well, I hope that helps. So do a study and make yourself a human guinea pig and see what you get. I think you just need some more oxygen, and that's a way to get it done. So thanks for calling, Kevin. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we'll get somebody else on. Stay with us. You're listening to the Ask Julie Ryan Show, and we'll be right back. Welcome back. We've got Lynn on the phone next. Hi, Lynn.
Hi, Julie.
How are you, girl?
We're in Richmond. Good. How are you?
Terrific. I'm terrific. Thanks. Got a quick question for me?
I do. I'm calling about my daughter, who's 17. She has Tourette's and some other anxiety issues, but one thing we're dealing with right now is she has a severe fear of needles, and she has to get a shot soon.
Oh, boy.
We were wondering how we can best help her.
2-minute rule. Have you heard me talk about that? The 2-minute rule.
2-minute rule?
Yeah, thoughts originate in the ethers, Lynn, and we pull them in based on what we're thinking about at any given moment. And every thought has its own frequency, much like a radio station. You're scared of needles and you think, oh my gosh, if I get this needle, then this is going to happen, and this is going to happen, and this is going to happen. And before long, you're just in a tiz because you've been thinking all of these thoughts that are being broadcast on that frequency about being afraid of needles. So how we change the channel is we ask, is this going to kill me in the next 2 minutes? So if she gets a shot, she can ask herself, is that going to kill me in the next 2 minutes? It's a yes or no answer in this game. If the answer is yes, she needs to change the conditions, get out of the road before the bus runs you over. If the answer is no, which it usually is, that means it's a false fear based in a limiting belief that's both are false. And it negates the fear. Yeah. So play that game
it's her
with
body telling her that it, I think with her, it's like her body is telling her that it's going to do that.
Well, yeah, it is because she's thinking those thoughts.
Yeah.
Because the body's always going to follow what the brain's telling it. So play that game with her when she has, just play with it with thoughts. She's on anything that she's concerned about and just say, okay, well, ask, is this going to kill you in the next 2 minutes? If it is, if it really truly is, then change the conditions. If it isn't, what's going to happen is she's going to get used to using the 2-minute rule, help her make it a habit, Lynn, and then her life's going to be dramatically improved because all this stuff that she's afraid of, that's irrational fear, she's going to laugh at a lot of it. And she's going to think, oh my gosh, I've been afraid of this stuff my whole life and it's crazy. And she'll be able to laugh at it. So the 2-minute rule, that will help tremendously.
We will try that.
Okay. All righty. Thanks for calling.
Thank you.
Good luck. You bet. All right. Let's go to Kate next. Hi, Kate. Hi, Kate. Are you there? Hello, hello. Guess not. All right. Let's go to Tracy. Hi, Tracy.
Hello.
Hi, Tracy.
Hello. Hello, I'm here.
Great. Where's here? Where are you located?
Muscatine, Iowa.
Oh, terrific. Got a quick question for me?
I do. So, I've been having a stomach pain, like right below the sternum.
Uh-huh.
And it's about the size of a baseball, and it does not go away.
Oh. Did you get it checked? Have you been to the doctor?
Yes, they did a CT, MRI. They can't find what's going on, so I'm going to a gastrologist next week.
Mm-hmm.
But
you can
when
feel,
I eat...
You can feel that it feels like it's a mass in there? Huh.
Well, it's like when I bend over, it's like someone's sticking their fingers up in my rib cage.
Hmm.
And then when I eat, within 20 minutes, I get bloated like I'm 4 months pregnant.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So does it feel hard at times when it gets bloated, or is it like it's filling with gas? That's yeast overgrowth. What I would do, Tracy, what I would do is email me, julie@askjulieryan.com, and we'll send you the link to the gut biome test. Anybody that's listening that wants that, just email me, julie@askjulieryan.com, and we'll send you the link. And that's a test that's going to check to see what the ecosystem is in your gut. It's a fancy word for a poop test, basically. And that's where our immune system's based. And you got obviously some GI stuff going on there. And that will tell you, based on the ecosystem in your gut, what your superfoods are. These are the best foods for you to eat. Here are the best foods for you to avoid, some of which may be healthy, but they're just not healthy for you right now. And then here's everything else. Eat this a lot, eat this a little, and it'll make a big difference. I'm going to get you back on here. I am seeing, Tracy, what looks like a mass in there. When they did the ultrasound, they didn't see anything?
No, they said they couldn't see nothing.
Okay. I am seeing it. I'm encapsulating it. I'm removing it. It's pink. I don't believe it's malignant. When I see malignant masses, they're usually black or really dark. This is pink. This is tissue in there. Did you ever have an abdominal surgery before?
Yes, so I had 2 C-sections and a hernia above my belly button.
Yeah. This is scar tissue connected with some other tissue. So that would make total sense. All right. So I've removed it. I would still email me. Let's do the gut biome test. You can do it at home. You don't need a doctor's orders. And that will really help you heal once you figure out what's going to be the best food for you to eat, because food is the best medicine, really, at the end of the day. So I hope that helps.
Okay.
And I hope you feel better.
Yeah.
All righty, everybody. That's it for this week. Thank you so much for joining me. We will be back same time, same station. And be sure to follow me on Instagram. Sign up for my newsletter. AskJulieRyan.com is where you can find everything. And sending you lots of love. Mwah, from Sweet Home, Alabama. Thanks for joining us. Bye, everybody.
Be sure to follow Julie on Instagram and YouTube at Ask Julie Ryan, and like her on Facebook at Ask Julie Ryan. To schedule an appointment or submit a question, please visit AskJulieRyan.com.
This show is for informational purposes only. It is not intended to be medical, psychological, financial, or legal advice. Please contact a licensed professional. The Ask Julie Ryan Show, Julie Ryan and all parties involved in producing, recording, and distributing it assume no responsibility for listeners' actions based on any information heard on this or any Ask Julie Ryan shows or podcasts.